Not to be here today. Yes, you were so proud of that. Excellent life choices. Hello. And we do have filming going on the lot today for a show called Home and Family. It stars host Mark Steinitz and Debbie Matenopoulos. At that point in the tour, you're going to see this on screen. Now that's for me, not for you, so you can talk amongst yourselves, take photos, all that good stuff. But I'll go off mic at that point in the tour. If I see filming going on, I haven't seen it today, so I can't guarantee that we'll see anything at all. But if I do see it going on, I'll try and point it out to you ahead of time, because that's why we're here. We got all sorts of things filming on the lot. A lot of our sound stages, family feuds out there filming. So you never know. You never know what you're going to see while we're on the tour. And we'll be headed out here in just a couple of minutes. We're just waiting for them to give us the thumbs up, tell us we are good to go, and head on out. I think they're going to do that here in just a moment. And then we can get our tour started. That's different. Let's try that again. And we are officially leaving and getting started, so I'm going to introduce you to my celebrity co-host for the tour. I'm going to guess you'll know his name because he also hosts this little thing. It's called The Tonight Show. It's Jimmy Fallon.
Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Kara.
And the greatest driver.
Yeah.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Kara.
It's mostly $5.
That's not true.
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Thanks, Jimmy. That's right. We do have a few safety rules to go over. First, if you need any assistance during the tour, if you have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or if you have any sound or video issues, there's a red cord on the ceiling. Give that a tug, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. I also have to remind everybody that the studio is private property, and it's prohibited for folks to jump off the tram. I have to say that now because people have jumped off the tram, so don't be that person. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please stay seated at all times, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle. And remember to use that red cord if you need any assistance. And please, no matter what the monster does, no smoking of any kind during the tour. Also be prepared during the tour for loud noises, tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects. Keep an eye on those phones or cameras to make sure they don't get wet. And please don't use selfie sticks while on board. But hey, that's it for the rules. We're officially leaving the theme park behind, headed into our movie studio. And we're going down our Universal movie timeline, so kind of like our greatest hits. We made over 8,000 movies in the years we've been out here. And you might see a few of your favorites, movies like Jurassic Park, Jaws, Back to the Future, just name a few of them. This guy that you'll see here on your screens, this is Carl Lemon. This is the guy who started it all. He came out here because he wanted to build a city completely devoted to movie making. And that's exactly what he did. Universal City. If you used a GPS to get here today, there you go. Universal City has everything that your town has except for people who live here. So we got a salon, gym, sheriff station, DMV, our very own fire station 51 that you'll see over there on the right, which if you ever saw the television show Emergency, you've got to say it that way because there was an exclamation point in the title. You just have to. Then you probably recognize that number. You've also seen nods to Fire Station 51 in shows like Friends when they burn all the ex-boyfriend stuff. Fire gets out of control, Fire Station 51 shows up. Same thing in Chicago Fire, part of the Chicago trilogy of TV shows. Yes, some of you watch. You're like, yeah, I know what you're talking about there. But what you're seeing here on screen is our front lot. Now, we have a front lot and a back lot. Front lot, we do every single part of the filmmaking process from beginning to end. Beginning being pre-production, end being post-production. We're going to talk about the part in the middle where you are filming. A lot of times filming happens in buildings like this one that you'll see here on the left-hand side. That's Soundstage 12, and it's currently home to NBC's hit singing competition, The Voice.
Hey everybody, I'm Carson Daly from NBC's The Voice. I want to welcome you to the Universal Front Lot. Our show is filmed on Stage 12. It happens to be the largest soundstage on the Universal lot. Take a look.
And if you take a look at your screens, you'll see a few of the movies that filmed there in Soundstage 12 before The Voice moved in. You heard Carson say this is our largest soundstage. It's about 29,000 square feet in size, so big enough to hold the sets for Singapore, from Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, the Visitor Center from Jurassic Park, some of these scenes from How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and even this resort from Couples Retreat. But let's pretend that you're a set designer for a second. If you walked into a soundstage, this is what you would see. Big empty warehouse, essentially. And think about that, you know, you look at it, you go, what kind of creativity does it take to go inside these buildings and basically what you're making is a whole world? One of the questions I get asked here a lot, too, after the tours, people will say, does stuff still film here? Like, does it really still film here? Yeah, all the time. We've seen shows like Colony, starring Josh Holloway Sawyer from Lost and Sarah Wayne Callies. They filmed their first season here. Then they went to Vancouver. And then there are shows like Superstore, starring America Ferrera and Ben Feldman, which takes place, it's going to blow your minds, in a giant store. It's called Cloud9 on the show. And you're going to see sound stages 17 and 16 over there on the left-hand side. And that is where Cloud9 is located. So they're able to have it in there. And then I had told you that Family Feud is out here filming on the lot. That's why you're seeing all this activity out here. So there is a chance you'll see some of the contestants walking by. We'll look and see. Oh, and it's raining. That's exciting. So we'll just kind of look. Family Feud has been filming on the right here. In just a second, you'll see Soundstage 29. There's some trailers in front of it. So we'll kind of hang tight. That's why you're here on the lot, and that's why I'm looking around here just to make sure what all's happening. But yeah, over here where you see these people walking on the right, they're going into the soundstage where Family Feud has been filming, because Steve Harvey's show Steve also films up. So kind of nice to have them both pretty close to each other. And that's what it looks like. We're in the process of putting this all together, right? You got people walking into the sound stages to do filming as we speak. Now the buildings that we see here, these sound stages, are about 98% soundproof. And a lot of the ones that you've seen so far were built in the 1920s and 30s. The Soundstage 21 over here on the left, this was used to hold the set for mission control from Apollo 13. Not because NASA wouldn't let them use the real one, but because it wasn't designed for a camera crew to be in there. There's also a pit in that soundstage that you can fill up with water, and that's where we tested the sharks for Jaws. I'll tell you a little bit later on in the tour how well that worked for us, but here's a hint. You're also going to notice we're jumping around in our numbers. Soundstage 41 is here on the right. So what, did we skip 20 sound stages in like 10 seconds? No. We only have 28 sound stages, even though they're numbered all the way up to 50. And that's because filmmakers are some of the most superstitious people you will ever meet. We don't have a number 13 because it's bad luck. People don't want to use it. Then we figured, okay, we can't have any multiples of 13, so we don't have those either. And then we don't have a number 7 because it's good luck. People would fight over using it. Just don't paint the numbers on the side of the building. Problem solved. And if you look closely at the parking space labels, you might see K Valentinians, and they're at the very, very end. So when they're here, this is where they park. That's where they work. Different type of Ted on the other side of the tram line. Ted the teddy bear. That's apple juice, kids. He's standing next to some shorter tan buildings that kind of look like houses. And in the early days of our studio, that's basically what these were. Because we used to have what were known as contract players. We would tell our actors, here's the deal. You can only work on Universal projects for X amount of time. But if we were going to do that, we had to give those actors somewhere to stay on the lot. So these buildings were set up like studio apartments for people like Doris Day and Lucille Ball. They're offices now. So producers, writers, directors, they all have their offices in these buildings. Folks like Illumination Entertainment, the people who brought you the Despicable Me movies, the Lorax, Elizabeth Banks, and Reese Witherspoon, they have actually used these buildings as their center of operations over the years. And then Mark Platt Productions, the folks who brought you Jesus Christ Superstar live, starring John Legend and Sarah Bareilles. Wicked, the musical, which is going to be a movie in December 2019, and even things like La La Land. But we're about to see probably the most famous bungalow here on the back lot, Bungalow 5195, and that one's important because this was Alfred Hitchcock's old office. You'll see his silhouette is painted on the side of the building. We kept it in the horror family. The De Laurentiis company's in there now. And then two of our newest sound stages, they're not that old at all. Sound stages 22 and 23 can be seen here on the left. They were first used for Hairspray Live. And then right now, America's Got Talent is in there. But you'll also see some Will and Grace parking spaces. That's where Will and Grace came back after 11 years off the air. And they're not in there right now because America's Got Talent, obviously, they were using it. As soon as America's Got Talent tears down their set, Will and Grace will come back and rebuild. So sets and sound stages aren't necessarily permanent. That's because we're a big rental facility. Anytime a show's on a break, we make them tear it down so we can rent it out to somebody else, which is different than the sets you're going to see here on the right on our back lot. Now, our back lot's where we shoot the big stuff. And so these sets are permanent because we can change where we are just by changing the decorations or signs on the buildings. These metro sets, short for Metropolitan, are a cityscape area. Every studio in town has something like this. Ours is just the biggest because we have the biggest back lot in town. And we're moving into one of the most utilized areas of our metro sets, Brownstone Street. Addison Montgomery and Derek Shepherd lived here in Grey's Anatomy, and Jim Carrey lived here in Bruce Almighty.
It's like bad, smells like good.
beautiful. This next area of our lot, Courthouse Square, which I think many of you are going to know better by a different name. Hill Valley from the Back to the Future films. We're on the very same street Marty McFly took trying to get up to 88 miles an hour, and you'll probably recognize that courthouse there on the left. The one Doc Brown was on top of, just trying to catch that bolt of lightning. Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2, both filmed here, but so have a number of other famous productions, things like The Twilight Zone, very pilot episode of The Twilight Zone. Where is everybody? Use this area. Amistad, Gremlins, Mindy Kaling's new show, when you get to the Champions, it's just Champions, has been filming here on the right with this fire station. You'll see they use it as the exterior of a gym. Hairspray Live, Bruce Almighty, Ghost Whisperer. In fact, Ghost Whisperer covered up the front of this courthouse. You see all of the columns there on the front. They're inside the doors that you see here at the entrance to City Hall. Because Ghost Whisperer realized when they saw Bruce Almighty, uh-oh, that looks just like Hill Valley. They didn't want the same problem with their show, so they built a false front, a facade there on that building. But I'm about ready to leave small town USA behind. I'll take you somewhere a little bit grander, the Big Apple. And who better to talk about New York than my co-star, because that is where he films the Tonight Show. So live from New York, it's Jimmy Fallon.
Welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. That old woman, tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Yeah, it's cool, guys. I was just, just walking in. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
And you'd be amazed at the number of productions that have filmed on this street, whether it's Captain America, First Avenger, Transformers, Newsies, The Prestige, American Ninja Warrior, Fate of the Furious, just name a few. But don't you think you would have noticed if these sets looked exactly the same every single time you saw them on camera? Well, that's because they don't look exactly the same. The outsides, the brick or stone, that's all panels of plastic, plaster, or fiberglass. We print them off in what's basically a giant waffle maker. It's called a vacuum press. And they come out completely plain. That way our set decorators are able to choose the style and the paint that they want to use. Most popular style, and this is going to sound like a joke, is murder brick. That's what it's called, what they use. So we can swap these out as many times as you would switch out your cell phone case. So you can see these sets hundreds, if not thousands of times. They're going to look a little bit different every time you see them on screen. In fact, even the outsides, yes, we can take them off, but if you walk through the front door, you kind of want to go, that'd be fun, go exploring in any of these buildings. If you did that, you might be surprised at what you find. Because these are facades, they're just the fronts and sides of a building. This is what those sets look like on the inside. That's it. Staircase to go to the upper levels. You might be sitting there thinking, but I see people walk inside buildings all the time on TV shows and movies. Sure you do. Because they go in the front door, we yell cut 2 to 3 days earlier, 2 to 3 weeks later, we go to a soundstage. That's where the inside of the building is located. The way we create the illusion that we're in the same place is we'll print a digital image of the outside on a giant shower curtain. Cyclorama is what it's called. And we pull it all the way around that set. So when you watch shows like, say, Frasier, really look at the background, imagine it as like a big shower curtain, you go, oh, well, what do you know? That's exactly what it is, right? So it shows you that we kind of manipulate what you see on screen because we're depending on your imagination to fill in all of those blanks. Little things we do, like the windows on the buildings get smaller the higher up you go to trick your eye and the camera into thinking these buildings are as tall as the skyscrapers in New York. When we remodeled these sets in 2008, we were very, very lucky. Director Steven Spielberg oversaw that remodel, and he's a director who is fantastic at combining computer-generated imagery, or CGI, with real life, or practical effects. Another director who's good at that is Peter Jackson, the director of one of the remakes of King Kong.
Maybe during movies I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in an inch. Kong literally does that.